What's up, you moneymakers? Did you know that general public owns 51.3% of total Nio stocks? Institutions own almost 30% of Nio stocks, and individual insiders own more than 10%, very close to 11% of Nio stock. Nio did have a pretty good week, and why I'm saying that, because Nio was up 1.66% last week. In last 5 days, Nio was up 5.32%, but if you think about what's happening with the EV market in general, regardless of Nasdaq is going up, Dow Jones is going up, Tesla suffered last week. Tesla was up almost flat on a Friday, 0.34% up. 5 days, Tesla was down 13.64%. 1 month, Tesla is down 26.25%. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Moneymakers. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to share what it means in terms of this ownership distribution. I'll be sharing very interesting and juicy information about Nio. We'll be looking into one of the top stock that investors place is talking about, that the stock can triple by 2026. Right now, Nio is trading at $6.15. I will be also telling you what it means in terms of CYBL to become Nio's largest investors. We'll be talking about some of the short selling activities that is happening. I'll be sharing my analysis around options that are expiring on February 2nd. Don't tune out, because this is very interesting information. I have been doing a ton of research on Nio, as you already can tell, and I'll be sharing what is the price point that you want to look out for that can stabilize Nio, how you can make money in Nio if you are a Nio investor. Again, remember, I do not have a crystal ball and I do not have any financial licenses. I'm just sharing this information based on my research and analysis. I did not really look into algorithmic methods just yet, but this is very interesting that I'm going to share this information with you. If today's your lucky day, do hit the like button. If today is not your lucky day, still hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. If you want to help out the channel, click on the super thanks down below and help out the channel with a couple of dollars. I'll really appreciate that. But likes and subscribes are for free, so do hit 100 likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel. I put in a lot of time, energy, effort, and my ambition in this channel, so your support is very much appreciated. Take a look. General public is owning more than 51%. What that means is general public can control in general what Nio is doing in stock price point, right? If you think about the short sellers are selling pretty strong. We have seen 66%, as high as 66% short selling FINRA volume. When we did 34.1 million in volume, FINRA short volume was 22.5 million, which was on 19th of January. Since then, short sellers are trying to be cautious, and we are again below 50%. All in all, we saw very strong 54.09, 56 million, or 56%, 51%, 52% short volume. Even though when we had a huge turnover or the volume, we have seen Nio struggling with the short volume, right? Now, for the call options and put options, or the contracts that are expiring on February 2nd, take a look right here. This is still a mixed bag. I'll tell you what is the price point that you want to look out for. Now, again, if you think about the call option, now call is basically, this is the volume and this is the open interest. Now, when you think about call option, call makes money if the stock price goes up. Puts make money if the stock goes down. So everyone who is at $6, if you think about, they are in the money if the stock goes to $6.50, $7, so on and so forth. And everyone in the puts option makes money if the stock goes down below $6.05. So if it goes to $6, they lose money. This is the volume, this is the open interest for call, and I really like what we see here. For $6.50, we are seeing 11,000 plus volume and 12,000 plus open interest. That suggests that there's a lot of interest for Nio to go to $6.50, which is a good thing. On the contrary, if you think about the puts option, again, this is a mixed bag, and which is why I'm calling it a mixed bag, because 3,583, which is our open volume, or the volume, and our open interest is 3,732. So again, it's a mixed bag. So you'll ask me what you should think as a price point, price support, and the resistance point. So here we are. If you think about this $6.60, give or take, right here, $6.51 to 52 cents, which is our strong strong resistance. What that means is Nio struggled to go above that price point in the past. So take a look. On 16th, we could not really go above that $6.52 point or price point, and we dropped back down. Again, we tried, we went to $6.51, dropped back down. And again, we tested the levels of $5.80. Again, we started going back up, could not sustain. We did go $6.76, but we dropped back down. If you see this juicy, dark blue bar, that is our moving average. Our moving average tells us that we are in a pretty good condition, pretty good position. Moving average is $6.08, whereas $6.14 is a real-time price point. If the real-time price point is above your moving average, that means the stock is in sort of green or bullish category. We're not that bullish yet, but if you think right here, right? So this is our moving average, and the real-time price point traded very well above the moving price point. The moving average, which suggests that Nio is in a good condition. And at the same time, if you see 67, that tells me that it's an overbought condition at the moment. What that means is it will drag stock down into the negative direction in a very short period of time when the market opens on Monday. Now, again, take it with a grain of salt. It may or may not happen, but take a look. If I just zoom in, you should be able to see that we have a pretty good volume, the buy volume. All this green juicy bar shows us the buy volume. Good buy volume, and at the end of the day, Friday, we saw a little bit of a sell volume, which is why we are seeing red, but all in all, you want to think about what Nio did in last 5 days. We did 5.32% in green, which is a good sign, and we did tested the lowest price point, $5.80 last week, which is again not a great sign. But Nio, and when you see the rock bottom, that is an opportunity. One of the things that I want to tell you is there are 25% of the institution, or 29.7% based on this article. This is on Nasdaq.com, so this is not my data. This is the data that I researched, but this is a very good information that you want to keep in mind. 29.7% institutional investor. If you want to take a breakdown, you should be able to see that, and it fluctuates. So don't call me for that 3 or 4% that you see difference. But right here, 25.06% is the institutional ownership. If you take a look, many big companies, BlackRock, State Street Corp, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, State Street, they do own pretty good ownership in Nio. So Billy Griffith and Company, number one owner, they own $703 million worth of value in Nio stock. BlackRock owns close to $400 million in Nio stock as well. State Street Corp, $129 million, Morgan Stanley $140 million, Goldman Sachs $94 million, Legal and General Group PLC $57 million, and the list goes on and on and on. Vanguard $30 million. So there are pretty big name out there, institutional investors. They own the total Nio shares. Total shares hold 410 million shares are held by institutional investors, and there are 515 institutional investors. So what I'm trying to get at is there's a pretty good blend between the ownership, right? Individual insider own 10%, which is pretty good. Institutions own more than 25%, which is good as well. And this is going to change. But the important thing is general public owns 51.3%. If you did like this information and if you haven't clicked the like button, I want to request you to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on many juicy research and analysis and information that I share onto this video. One of the things that you want to also note is Nio stock declines while the market improves. The information for investors is where Nio stock can go, right? And there are a lot of people talking both the sides, but if you are a swing trader, this could be your opportunity. And again, this is a risk versus reward, right? When the stock hits rock bottom, if it hits more another low, you want the dollar cost average and you want to play accordingly. But according to Investor Place, 3 under $15 stock predicted to triple by 2026. What that means is Nio can hit $16 or $18 based on this article. It secures a top position in China's EV market based on the effective market positioning and penetration. What that also means is this is a this Chinese company is growing super fast, and we have seen how fast they grow and how quickly they started selling. They dominates the Chinese EV segment, particularly in Q3 2023. I wanted to quickly show you the data, what Nio did in terms of the revenue. Yes, they're losing losing money quarter by quarter, but in Q3, they had $19.07 billion in revenue. In Q2, the revenue was $8.77 billion. So this is not a Josh Mo company or a very small company like Mullen that can get crushed if the market does not really pay them the deliveries or the sales and the revenue, so on and so forth. Going back to what I was talking about, regardless of what Nio is doing in general, the strategic positioning that they already have, and the first movers advantage in Chinese market and the strong market presence, according to the Nio secured the top position in China's EV segment as well and attained the market share about 45%. That suggested it is a remarkable level for the market penetration. Nio has been holding pretty strong regardless of the losses that they're making. They're losing in billions and they have a pretty good investor, as you already know, CYVN. CYVN, to become Nio's largest investor, you already know that they also fuel a $2.2 billion worth, while William Li remains with the most voting right. At the end of February, their stake, Li's stake in Nio was 10.5%. And that 10.5% represent right here, which is the insider individual out of this 10.7, 10.5 is owned by William Li based on this data. With that, they hold 44% plus voting rights, which is going to work in favor of the company because they already know a lot of insights. They really know the market and they really know the technology behind what Nio is trying to do. Now, when it comes to EV, it is based on a couple of things. Number one, how fast you can charge. And at one full charge, how far you can go. CYVN will hold a 20.1% stake in Nio's latest investment. So again, Li has kept already 44.2% voting rights. CYVN will hold a 20.1% stake in Nio for this investment. With all that, there is a bright future. People are talking about fundamentals in China's EV market, one of the most dynamic and competitive market globally. China is struggling with their GDP. China is struggling with a lot of other factors. But with that, Nio has been doing pretty good. I just wanted to quickly share this information with you. With that, you also want to know that the average volume for Nio is 60.3 million, where we did 39.4 million last week on Friday, which is not bad at all. With 60 million, give or take, how did we do? We did almost 60 million on Thursday, 76 million on Wednesday, 119 million, where we saw that Nio just hit $6.88, could not really sustain. We really want to see Nio above $6.52 I told you about, because that's where Nio is struggling. But once it goes about that $6.52, guess what? 652 becomes their strong support. And that means it will make sure that Nio does not really go quickly below $6.52, because that support level will protect Nio price point to go below that based on the technical indicators that I shared with you. Overall, we have seen pretty healthy volume. Yes, we did see $5.86 as you can recall, $5.83 as you can recall as well. We did see on Friday $5.97. We'll see where Nio can go from this price point. If Nio can go above 652 and stays above 652, you can expect that Nio will hit high 6s or low 7s very, very soon. Based on this article, once again going back, this article talks about under $15 stocks that are predicted to be tripled by 2026, which is 200% gain if someone wants to really invest a few thousand or maybe a few $100s based on your investment strategies. Again, looking into the volume looks pretty healthy. Yes, Nio did hit $5.80, the lowest price point on 22nd of January, but it rebounded pretty quickly as well, and we are up 40 cents already almost, and we'll see where we can go. Because all in all, we are only closed below $6 just once, and that was on 22nd of January. Other than that, we managed to close and stay above $6, $6.21, $6.07, $6.04, and $6.14. With all this, I just wanted to tell you that I'll keep you posted. If you haven't clicked the like button, do so right now. subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. I wish you happy investing in Nio, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching.